Hey YouTube, this video making today is just an extension of a bit of a discussion that I made a video for a few days ago. And I was talking about the current network performance of companies like Verizon, ones that I've experienced in the Cleveland area. And the reason, I wanted to post this video in particular is I stumbled upon an article, and it's over on Fierce Wireless. And I don't know much about this, particular website or whatever, or this author for that matter, the person who wrote the article. But what I came across was the mention of a 3.5 gigahertz ecosystem that Verizon is setting up and trying to implement to use to supplement their network. Now, I can tell you this is going to be a welcomed addition in terms of network performance. I've noticed that there's been a lot of slowdown in my area. Certain times of the day are worse than others. But overall, in the last month, I have seen speeds overall decrease by about 25 to 35% on average. And on the high average, times, decreasing even by 50%. So where I used to get 40 to 50 meg download speeds, now it's 20 to 25. Places where I used to get 10 meg speeds, which weren't that great, have now dropped even lower to the 3 to 10 meg range. It's been very noticeable, and I know this has to do with the network congestion we're experiencing from the unlimited promos. So I was reading this and I was taking a look at some of the details, and what I'm seeing is Verizon's looking to implement the use of small cells. Now, small cells is not new tech. This is not something that is just like this earth-breaking news that, they're going to be using this new technology, installing new hardware, that we've never seen or heard of. This is something that has been being developed since 2014. It just hasn't been implemented. So I don't know if it's, having the funding and the money going elsewhere, or they just haven't really perfected it or figured out the exact way they want to deploy it. So what I'm reading here is that they're looking to use the 3.5 gigahertz spectrum as soon as they can. Obviously, this is in direct response to the unlimited promo, and I think now they're starting to feel it. Or they knew that there was going to be a network congestion issues in certain markets. People were going to be switching, and they were ready for the switch. So, getting all these people, all this network congestion, all the use of the spectrum, they knew it was going to happen. They knew they had to have a backup plan, or their plan A was to use the spectrum. So after scrolling through most of the article and reading it and looking at it, it seems like they were ready. Now, what's interesting is it looks like this won't be deployed and implemented until 2018. If that's the case, that is around the time that 5G is expected to roll out. So maybe this is in direct correlation just to 5G implementation. If that's the case, then it's not really anything of note. We know 5G is coming. We know it's right around the corner, 2018, so here it is. Now, something I did note is that they're trying to use a couple different pieces of hardware. You've got low power small cells and then the high power small cells. And I guess each one is for different use in terms of performance. So they're looking to improve performance in places like enterprises, hotels, airports, and convention centers, stadiums, for the small cells. So, whether it's, like kind of like in the indoor situation or outdoor situation, they're going to be using different types of cells. Regardless, this should help alleviate some of the congestion and the pressure felt by the network from all the different users pulling on the bandwidth and stressing out all the network. So here's Verizon addressing the issue. Now, what you can do, us as users, is to note you can contact Verizon. You can let them know of an area that would benefit from the implementation of these small cells. So if you're in an area, I don't know, similar to kind of what I've been experiencing on Cleveland's west side, where speeds are slower, congestion seems to be occurring, or speeds have been slow or poor for a long time, chime in, contact customer service, allow them to note where these locations are, because I'm sure they have a network team, right, that's going to be, trying to isolate and finding locations where this is going to benefit. But they're probably looking at congested areas only. But we should also be noting where signal is weak, where performance is not just due to congestion, but also poor performance due to the lack of signal strength, or not being close to a tower. So if there's something you can do, it's from that front, letting Verizon know where these weak spots are, where these poor reception locations are, so they could possibly look to install these small cells there. Okay, so it also, inside this article, it does note that AT&T is in on this, and we've known about this. AT&T and Verizon are way ahead in the 5G game. They're ready to install the hardware, make sure that the spectrum is ready to use, and have it allocated. Now they will monetize it. They will, make it a premium feature. People will be paying for it, but just having it available is going to alleviate pressure from the 4G stand front and just overall network performance. So I'm glad to see it. I'm happy with this. It's fine with me. After reading the article, it's kind of an update to the 5G situation, I think. So, that's just the update from the Verizon front. I know a lot of people, have different carriers, but from Verizon, this is what we're reading. This is what we're seeing, and yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. So for those of you that maybe have Verizon and you're kind of looking at network performance, and if it's struggling in certain places, that's kind of what you're looking at for a time frame where things can possibly improve and get better in the near future. Anyways, that was the update for today. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.